mailed a bill to Dee, because she was being a contact person. We had questions on a couple of the items that he billed for.
That's what that $5,000 is for?
Now, his bill that he sent to us was $13,000.
No, that was just a make-believe figure that we came up with last year because we had no idea.
To put it into the budget.
To get it into the budget,
So that
we
we'll-
had no idea how much this
So
was
then
gonna
this is
cost.
Can't you ask the
$5,000.
attorney for a budget? I'm an attorney and my clients always ask me for a budget. So I
Well,
would recommend that you at least ask him for it if you don't have one.
yeah, we have asked the attorney for how much was any of this going to be doing. I mean, this is when we made up the budget, there was no reason at that point really to do, we're just making up a budget. And then we got a bill, we're waiting for a revised bill because Dee was told verbally that there would be a $200 reduction. But I have not personally, I haven't gotten anything from him, and we've been asking since we got into this situation of what was his hourly rate or, anything like that. And we finally, last week, got the bill for the first time, and there were some things that,
Maybe it's time for a new attorney?
Was my next comment.
well, that's where,
If he's not being proactive, if he's not being responsive, I don't know.
There's-
I would like to know what his hourly rate is.
Absolutely.
$300.
$300 an hour.
$300 an hour?
Yeah. What?
And what are we doing for the $300 an hour?
Exactly.
no,
How
this is,
many hours did he work for the $13,000 at $300?
oh, it's all this,
Hang on.
You know? I mean, this ain't New York City.
1,300, isn't it?
1,300, no, 13,000.
oh,
I heard
13.
I heard a
Sorry.
figure of 13,000. That's why my ears went up, and I
Okay,
said,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna be the new attorney for this office.
Well, yeah.
He had,
I bring my license from New York City down here.
he had 3 billable hours, and Kay Lennon, whoever she is, secretary maybe?
Tricia,
Who's Kay? She's
KML,
she's
I don't know.
billing at 1.4 hours.
Can I take a look at it? Maybe I can help you check it.
Here, I've got this one.
Maybe that's not what we wanted to look at. We want to look at the bill, right there.
So that is,
Is that
that
the
is
same?
it, itemized.
Cancel check? That's itemized out?
And he hasn't been paid yet, there's no financial check
No,
yet.
we haven't paid him yet because we need to discuss it. And
Yeah.
because we don't have.
Is this a final bill?
No, we're waiting for a revised bill, and that's up to this point. And when,
His last billing matter on here was April 29th.
How much does it charge for a telephone call? 15 minutes or an hour?
20.
$20.
20 minutes,
$20.
$60.
How much?
20 minutes, which would be $60.
Yeah.
In total, having a $300 an hour attorney to represent my home and yours as well, I'm not sure it's necessary against the violations at hand, but I'm not sure who solicited him. I know we have other attorneys who have worked with
we've had another
the
one, and this was,
association.
yeah.
So,
So this was a referral, because somebody else has had them, their attorney.
Isn't $300 an hour high for down Florida?
it's absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I was looking at something like 125, 150
Correct.
an hour plus 15 minutes increments for one telephone call or 20.
That's right. I mean, do I think the billings are unreasonable based on the first page that I looked at? I don't. Given the little bit that it's done, but the rate itself
It's very
is
high.
astronomical given what you're looking, what you're talking about. This isn't someone who didn't kill somebody. So,
Yeah.
I just think in light of
Not
your
yet.
comment about the excessive
Not yet.
expenses and other things that you're looking at, if you're going to be thinking that there are other counsel who are needed, you need to be a little bit more, cost conscious, I think.
Well, this is where, this is the first billing we've gotten since we
But I guess
brought
my
him on,
comment,
and it has been slow, so this is why there's,
I guess my comment is before anybody would hire me, they'd want to know what my rate is. So.
Yeah.
which we asked, and then we'll get it to us.
I don't think any lady in this room would walk into a beauty parlor, sit down and get a haircut without first finding out how much it was gonna cost.
I wouldn't.
Well, this was what we were told, you know, they would get it to us, so
Right.
I
However,
remember how.
however, here we are, June 1st, welcome to June. We are, obviously, what I'm hearing you say is this isn't being the person who's being the most proactive or
No.
responsive. It's not too late to change.
Right.
And there are other attorneys who have worked for my family,
Mhm.
I'm sure for all of us here,
Right.
with whatever it is, who are truly local people, and maybe even somebody, I mean, this is Daytona, but somebody in Ormond, I don't know, who would be competitive
Right.
on this rate. And at the minute I say to somebody, especially in today's marketplace, people are chomping at the door to do work. I need somebody who's gonna be responsive and proactive, and we're not looking for this to take 5 years. We want this done in 60 days. We want this problem solved.
Right.
And they're gonna do it.
Well, this is what we, you know, we've done this letter,
I'm sorry.
that, actually, here's a copy. This is what was mailed out. And
Oh, yeah, you just gave me that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it probably got crossed, I probably just haven't gotten it yet.
So that, but that I had originally planned for that to go out like on the 15th.
Mhm.
Well, we didn't know. He was in Ireland for 2 weeks and then got back, and, you know, it's just,
Can I ask a question? Maybe I'm jumping ahead, but you guys brought this up with regard to this particular issue, so this home. Maybe the genesis of how this happened, because it came to my attention that we're pursuing this action against the homeowner, who I don't think is in the room, but.
yes,
He's present.
it's Tony is.
Okay, so, but my question is, what was the notice to the others who weren't on the board and to the homeowner? Like, what was the process behind this? And
Okay. I mean, it sounds like I'm fumbling and I'm really not, but this is the folder that I got from Dee, who was the secretary, and this is, I have one just about like it. The process was that there was a complaint made to the board that Tony was, Charlie was painting his roof white, and at first it was some in the front, and there was some on the high corner, some over here. It wasn't completely. Okay, Tony had gone ahead and started doing this work without getting approval from the ACC, which then Jason would get aware of it and onto it. That this was a new material, and we had a whole board meeting on it because, and we had it as an emergency meeting because this is in process, so let's get it stopped, you know, halt first and go over what this is. Now, Mr. Bocelli's point, and I do have it later down here, but the point was that this is an energy-saving device or material.
Device is the word.
But in Florida, there is an energy-saving devices are allowed. Well, is paint a device, or, and seems to be the debate. Where we're at right now, the last time we were in with Mr. Bartlett, is there have been other complaints from other HOAs, again, trying to determine and get a determination from whether this coating is a device or not a device. And the other part is we are to have shingled roofs, and that's all in our bylaws and covenants. So now it's a painted shingled roof. And so this is what our thing is. Getting back to the bottom line of the whole thing of starting it at first, we were not given the opportunity because Mr. Bocelli started doing it without getting ACC approval, which it's in the covenants that if you're doing anything on the outside of your house, you need to have ACC approval. So, that was the first thing, and then he has gone ahead and he did not refer back to with the lawyer sent a mediation.
Excuse me, I did
things
respond
for-
to the lawyer.
I'm sorry?
I did respond to the lawyer within the 20 days.
Okay, because
I don't want to get into like that aspect of it. I was just curious
Okay.
about the
that's what
the
originally.
language, because one, it answers my question of what was in this in the billing, and two, the
That might help.
the
So,
So I guess, and the long and the short of it is, there is or there is not case law, or there is not